done. So it must have had, I don't know, 2 dozen new lots of growth on.
Yeah.
So I took half of them out. This is lime, by the way.
Right, I'll come round, mate.
Yeah.
I'm just catching up with Joe, our good friend from the next door plot. If you remember last time we saw Joe, he was the wise old elf.
Well,
I hope you don't mind being the wise old elf, pal.
The wise old elf is still here.
He's still here, he's still cracking on.
So it's just
Getting his brassicas in.
dig a little hole, spoonful of lime, give it a little stir, and the idea being that because we all only have so much ground and it's been used that many times,
Yeah.
that we all have club root, nothing we can do about it. And the idea now is these little fine roots will grow through the lime, and then if there's club root around, the club root would have attached itself to the little roots.
Yeah.
And the club root then fattens on the little roots, so the stuff doesn't get to the plant.
Yeah, it doesn't absorb its nutrients,
So
does it?
by getting some lime in the bottom, the roots then are going to grow through the lime
and have a fighting chance.
But it's all good soil, it's had tons of manure in, it's lovely, crumbly.
It's gorgeous looking soil, that, isn't it? It's free draining, isn't that?
Yeah, that's probably took, I don't know, 7 or 8 years to get it as good as it is now. And then because the brassicas, they really like firming in.
Yeah, they're like a firm seat.
Yeah, same with your sprouts, get them in as firm as you can. So again, I'm only going to put 2 more in, I'll have a few left. So anybody that wants a couple of sprouts can have them.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing any sprouts this year, so we probably will, if you've any.
Oh, there'll be 3 left there, mate. 3 sprouts will do you no harm, will they?
No.
Get the kids eating their veg, tell them it's something else. Yeah.
Well, they love brassica. Yeah. They like kale, eat raw kale, and they eat broccoli, raw, Savoy cabbage.
Well, our little one, she's 4 now. She adores broccoli more than anything else.
Yeah.
But anyway, her name's Mia, she's 4 years old. Now, she calls broccoli green trees.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's what our lads call it.
To our Mia, broccoli is green trees, so she'll eat broccoli all day long.
Funny that, isn't it? I don't know where they get that from, because our Ellen's not a big veggie eater.
Yeah.
She'll eat it cooked, but she won't eat it raw.
Yeah, so that is our sprouts in. So in a bit now, all I'll do, I'll just get my big canes or my big pieces of bark, shove them in, and then my hoops will go.
Just slide them over the top there, innit?
Slide them over the top, Tony, as we all do. And then it gets netted to keep away the wood pigeons. So all that'll happen is that will go there.
The other one on that side.
Bent up. That will go there.
And there's your beds.
Like you are at the side. Get them all netted. And that's that done.
That's it. It's just a matter of getting them covered, isn't it? Because there's some cabbage whites knocking about now as well.
Already, yeah.
Just seen, I saw about 3 or 4 yesterday when I come down.
They're the advanced army, they're the early ones.
That's right.
They've hibernated over winter wherever they've hibernated. And they've started the onslaught.
That's it, the advanced party.
So in a bit now, these will get watered. And then I'll put the hoops up and then I'll net them. And that's another bed done.
Yeah. You enrich this with the well-rotted manure every year, don't you?
Tons and tons of manure on all. If you put your hand in that, the soil, it's thick and dry on top. But just start scraping it away. It's dark, it's earthy, plenty of manure in.
Yeah, good on an inch or 2.
Yeah. Now let's go and look at the grapes. I'll show you what I've been doing. Even though.
Now we're in the double greenhouse, the 2 attached, aren't we?
Gardener's Delight, they've already been in a month, and I know it's early, but I started them in February. They grew on. These are just bottomless pots, so I've cut the bottom out, and in January I dug all the bed out completely. Again, tons of manure underneath, put the soil back on top, let it all settle. So now these are on the way. So these are going to get tied up in the next day or two.
Yeah, to follow the kit.
Yeah, so here's some of the little side shoots that we don't want. So we just pinch these off. So all these little side shoots, you get your main stem, you get your flower leaf, and just in there is what would be another main stem in effect, but I just have a single stem. So by pinching all these out, these little side shoots, your tomato plant now is just going to go taller because it's not growing.
It's not sending the energy into the sides.
Yeah, it's not using more energy to grow the side shoots. So now it'll climb quicker. And once I get my first truss, then I'll start feeding them.
Right.
Now these are just some early potatoes.
Bloody hell, they're thriving, isn't it?
So the flowers are just coming now. And what happened with those was, at Christmas, Margie just bought some little new potatoes.
Yeah.
We had half a dozen left that had started chitting. So they got brought up here. I just put the half dozen in the back of the bed, because this will have cucumbers in as soon as these come out. So the potatoes and the roots of the potatoes will have worked on all the soil, put the cucumbers in, and away go the cucumbers. In a way, because the potatoes have prepared the beds.
Right.
So it'll be a nice fine crumbly soil, which is what potatoes do. And then I'll just level it off and get me cucumbers in.
Right.
Now these are all Californian wonders. These will give us the big red and green peppers. Again, they take a long growing season. So these were started in January at home. Picked them out probably the end of February. They've grown on, and these are bottomless pots again, and they're on the way. So they've been in now a fortnight, and as you can see,
they're coming on all right.
Coming on. And if we go upstairs,
oh,
right,
thought I was getting drunk there.
Right, here's Tony's. Oh, this is Joe's grapevine. So all this growth is just on one little spurt there.
Yeah.
I've cut that one off. So that got cut off, and this was the next one. Now this is only a fortnight ago, and as you can see, some of them are 12 inches long, and there must be half a dozen there. So it's one, miss one, one, miss one, one, miss one, one. Because this only has two little shoots now.
Right.
But here we are. We just got to this end one. There's your grapes coming now, already. So that will be your bunch of grapes. Yeah. So what I will do, these again want thinning out. Otherwise these, and you'll have rampant growth all over the place. So those are grapes, there's grapes.
Yeah.
Just stay there, I'll get my scissors. Mitch right here. So once it's started to send out on these, there's the grapes on this one.
Right.
Right. Come up then to your next bud, which is, here it comes. There's the grapes. There's the grapes. Now I don't want it again feeding everything. So go one to your next pair of leaves and take it off.
Right.
So now, this arm now, this leg is just feeding those two bunches of grapes. Like on this one here, there's your bunch of grapes. There's going to be another one.
Sorry, pal. Yeah.
Grapes, grapes, up to your next pair of leaves.
Just past, give it a trim.
Give it a trim, cut it back. So then I've got 2 bunches of grapes there. Now, there's another one coming here. So I'll probably aim for 4 bunches of grapes on each where I've got it coming through.
On each one of these nodes, if you like, coming off.
Yeah. Now, once I've got 4 bunches of grapes, here we go, here's a prime example. There's a bunch of grapes, again there, on the same spur where it's spurred off as this one. So that, up to a pair of leaves and come off. Now all the rest would carry on doing the same, but I don't want that, so that comes off. That comes off. And all I'm doing is taking away what would be potentially more growth and more grapes, but I don't want everything, and I'll take that back one off. So there we are. 1, 2, 3, and there's a 4th one there coming. There's my bunch of grapes. Go a pair of leaves past to where the next pair of leaves are, and done.
And that's your lot.
Right. So where the main rod comes all the way up and all the way along, that's been trimmed now. That's my 4 bunches of grapes. And I'll individually do each one all the way through to control my grapes. Here's more grapes on this one. There's a pair of grapes. 1. There. There's your grapes. Up
One
to your
up.
pair of leaves.
Off
1
they
up. Take it off.
You can see where they're all coming, can't you?
Grapes again here now because it's lovely and warm, it's early. Up to a pair of leaves. Take it off. And I just go through that process. Bunch of grapes, 1 pair of leaves past, cut it back. And then the energy then will be going into that grape. And in a few weeks' time, when these get a bit bigger, we'll get a smaller pair of scissors.
Yep.
And we'll thin the grapes on each bunch. So in easy figures, if that is going to be 30 grapes, I'll cut that down. I'll thin it out to 20 grapes. It gives them more room to grow and you'll get slightly larger grapes.
And they'll come on to full sweetness and maturity and ripeness. Because that's what it needs, isn't it? And I suppose when you're thinning out the foliage as well, you'll get better ventilation coming through, less chance of them,
well, the vent's open here to get the air circulation. But it's about being in control. If you've got a plot, you've got to be in control. If you just put stuff in the ground, whatever it is, it'll grow wild. It'll just go and go and go. And lots of things just need a little bit of control and a little bit of help. So where on my grapevine here, this is where it's coming out. Now down the bottom is some new, what would be, new stems. I don't want them. So just gently rub them off. One down the bottom here, rub it off. These are my 2 main rods coming up. Here's a young one there. Again, off. We go up again.
Yeah, another new.
There's another one. Off. And just at the back there, I don't know if you can see that one. That's on its way. So that
little in there as well.
Comes off when that gets, and just rub them off, and keep you from your main rod, your stem. I have 2 going all the way up, and I don't allow anything to come on the sides until they get to the top.
Right.
Because this is where I want my grapes, upstairs.
So there you go, boys and girls.
Right, so these are all...
They're coming exactly where you want them, aren't they?
These are just my gardener's delight. And I know there looks a lot in there. People might think they only grow 3 in a grow bag. But I've got 12 gardener's delight there. I've got 12 here. But I know that when I've thinned them out, pruned them, the manure's under there, and then they'll get the magic comfrey later on in the season.
Yeah, the comfrey. Now I need to get some of these together because I have got comfrey in the buckets there and I need to pour it in there. So mostly Gardener's Delight you're doing this time?
Well, these are moneymaker.
Right.
And I always tell anybody, only grow what you eat. Don't waste your time on different varieties. If you know what you like, grow it. So I do moneymaker there,
Yeah.
and this is all Gardener's Delight. And look at them now, there's not a thing wrong with them, they're bouncing.
Yeah, flying along, aren't they then?
And my little greenhouse on this other plot is where I bring all my stuff on.
That's what I'm trying to do, have a feeder one. Feeder
So
green.
these are my broad beans, they're ready for going in. Now these strawberries are just in lengths of gutter, soil, bit of bone meal, bloodfish and bone, but only a bit, you don't want it too rich. And already there's the flowers and there's the strawberries. As opposed to the ones that's out in the open, these are a month earlier. So I'll just get a dozen strawberry plants a month earlier. And then the babe comes up again who adores strawberries. A few red onions down the bottom and some white, they have to go in yet. And then over here is bloody all sorts.
Courgettes, have you?
Yeah. These are all my courgettes. So they'll stay in here probably at least another 3 weeks minimum.
Make sure they're well past the frost.
And then you think, bloody hell, look at all these tomatoes again. Everything gets a label, everything's named, so moneymaker, Gardener's Delight, but all these, some will go in big tubs in here, and the rest will go in the polytunnel later on.
Right.
Here's some more peppers. So these are jalapenos. They're KN, and they're KN as well. So they'll get potted up in the next week, 10 days, and they'll go in big tubs. Some will come in here, and some will go in the polytunnel.
Yeah.
So if we go in the polytunnel, that's a bit untidy and a bit messy now. So my polytunnel just has one centre bed, and I'll string peppers, cucumbers, because I can grow them up high to the ridge.
So you'll run your strings and everything right up to the point at the top
Right
there
to
where
the
your
top,
bar is?
Yeah. So again, a few spare tomatoes, more peppers, spring onions, they're
All right.
going out. Iceberg lettuce, beetroot, some more colic that I've grown from seed.
It's all doing well in here, isn't it?
Yeah, leeks, and as long as they're kept pretty damp in the early days before they can stay in here for another week, because they're sheltered, getting looked after, and because of the warmth it's growing.
You like to shade out the sides, don't you? Because
Because if I don't shade out the sides, it gets too hot.
Yeah.
So this is just scaffold netting on the inside, keeps the temperature down. And then this is 18 months old. This is another grapevine, and again now, here come all the buds.
What sort's that one, Joe?
This one is, keep the labels, it is
It's a black, isn't it?
black amber.
Black amber.
Black amber.
It's coming along nice, isn't it?
But again, here's the main stem coming up. I don't want the sides. So all the side ones are coming off. And the idea being then it can use its vigour to send all the growth down the main rods. So they all come off. Just peel them off. That's it. And then it's now going to grow along here.
Yeah, you get your growth and foliage where you want your growth and foliage.
And then in the corner there is a kiwi plant.
A kiwi.
So that had been at home for 2 years. It had grown slowly, never flowered, never fruited obviously, because no flowers. So last September it came up, it went in the bottomless bucket with a good feed, and as we are now, it's still early season, loads of growth on, fingers crossed.
Right.
So that's a kiwi plant. And then all the plastic trays that's on the floor and the containers, they'll have buckets, they'll all get watered, and they've got a water supply at the base.
So what do you do then with your tomatoes? Water at the base, feed at the top? Because that's what I've been told. Whether
different ways. The ones that's in the greenhouse are in bottomless pots.
Yeah.
So their roots will go down and they'll get fed. Have I got... Pass us that little plastic bottle there.
This one of these?
Yeah. All I'll end up doing, just get my cordless drill a few holes in the bottom, cut the top off.
Yep.
Right. And then in my beds in there, that will end up going in the bed with no top on.
Right.
And then all I've got to do then is fill that up and the water will slowly seep down below top level, yeah?
Yep.
And water them. But then I can put a bit of feed in there as well. So the feed and the water is going down and the roots then, they know there's water a bit lower down than... If the roots are only 2 inches deep and that's gone in 4 inches, they'll end up going down. And
they'll seek it out, won't they?
They'll seek the water out. And you're making your plant work. You're making the plant work just by getting something in below ground level. Later on, they'll all have a compost or soil mix in, fill them full of the mix, put in whatever it's going to be, peppers, tomatoes, chilies, it could be cucumber, could be anything, yeah? But then I'll just keep the tray full of water and then the water will soak up and the roots will go down.
Do you put feed in with the soil or do you just use your liquid feed?
Generally, if it's only tomatoes, peppers, chilies, cucumbers, it's just a good compost mix, no feed. Because initially, there's enough nutrients in that bag of compost that you've already bought. Because sometimes if you add blood, fish and bone or bone meal into that as well, you can put too much stuff in and then it's too rich. And it's a bit like, how can I do? Maybe putting your feet, you wouldn't put your feet in a bowl of boiling hot water, right? So you don't want to give them too much at the roots at first, because you want to make the roots work.
Make them seek out the nutrients.
Make them seek out. And you don't want to burn them by having a bit too rich a compost. And if it's too rich, all you might end up doing is feeding the leaves. Get your plant in, get it established.
Yeah.
And then once it's established, then you can start to feed it.
What about putting a bit of bone meal in because of the calcium? Because I know people use eggshells and stuff like that, but I've not got enough eggshells.
No, nobody has it. But tell me why you would do it. You've no need to do it, because if it's a bag of multi-purpose compost, the basic nutrients in small amounts are already in it. And at first they only need small amounts to get the cells in, to get the cells established.
Yeah.
And then once they're established, yeah, and they've got maybe a foot tall, be it your pepper, your tooth, whatever it is, then you can start to feed. I never feed anything too early. I make the roots work first.
Right. No, it says somebody, I think, I'm not sure who it was saying that the calcium's good for the root system, and then it stops or it helps prevent cat facing on them and blossom end rot and stuff down the line. And I don't know whether it's right. I don't know.
Blossom end rot. You only get blossom end rot because it's a water problem. Blossom end rot on tomatoes, they'll normally go black.
Yeah, it's insufficient or
but it's generally insufficient water. So you might come up one day and water everything. But if you don't get up for a week or 5 days and they've used that water, so they've been sucking the water up, they're nice and healthy, and suddenly then there's no water.
Yeah.
And depending on how long it is, they've stopped drawing up to feed, to feed the moisture.
Right.
And normally blossom end rot is irregular, nothing else, irregular watering. So going back to the system is, if you've got them in something like that, and either you've put one of these in the bucket or you've got water in there, it's naturally taking it up when it wants it.
Yeah.
So they've got a little constant amount of water that they need.
Well, it must be working out for you. I remember last year you had some crackers, didn't you? You had some good crops last year off them. That's what it's all about, mate.
Yeah.
So we've got leeks.
Yeah. So again, nothing, I'll just get a bit of a cane.
You just dig a hole, drop them in and water them.
Yeah, because all I do is just get a shorter cane. So there's 6 across and there's 10 deep. That's 60
leeks.
So all I do, I know this cane's big, I just literally push it in the ground, spike it round, so you've physically got almost like a tapered hole. I would then drop my leek in and that would be it, and I'd go along and do all my leeks, not having filled the holes in. And then I gently water, so the water goes in the hole. It'll draw some of the soil down, yeah, because that holds the roots initially while the roots are getting set. And then I'll water as and when it's needed, and gradually the soil then will fill in around the hole. And all the leek that is below ground level, because it's going to get no daylight, that is going to be white and blanched. And then we never let them get great big fat onions. Leeks, sorry. We like them nice and slim, maybe an inch and a half.
Yeah.
And then it's leek and potato soup. Whatever Margie's going to do with the veggies, Margie does.
So what you're doing for the last third of the bed here?
This bit, I have some more leeks in the polytunnel tone.
Right. Yeah.
So there's just enough leeks left to fill this bed.
Right.
So this one.
So it'll be a full bed of leeks.
That's my potatoes, and they're all coming through now. And what I do, I just put my cane in, then
Mark
the
your row.
potatoes, but I never earth up, because if you earth up, you don't know where your potatoes are going to come. Now I'll let these get probably 2 inches high, and then I can see where they are. Hopefully they'll be in rows, but not necessarily. And then I'll earth them up.
How deep do you go with them, Joe? Do you use a planter or do you dig a trench?
6 inches.
Yeah.
Roughly 6 inches, and away they go. So early potatoes, leeks.
Potato and leek soup, handy, all in one spot.
There, just stay there. This is how sad Joe is. I always tell you I do a plan.
Yeah.
So, this plan, 2019, my first plot. So we're here now with the Maris Pier. We've just seen the leeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're on the leeks and then the broccoli in the tent.
We've got the broccoli.
And Chinese, yeah, exactly as it
Chinese
is.
cabbage. Strawberries. Then we go down to the raspberry bed. So there's the broccoli that's on the plan. Broccoli, yeah, is in bed 3.
Yep.
Bed 4 has my strawberries in, and my pleat fruit trees that are all flowering now and budding. And again, like I said last year, I'm in control of them, because these are going to be the fruiting spurs that I'll have the fruit on.
And what type of fruits is that?
This one is my Victoria plum.
Right.
That's my Victoria plum, and I'll have to tell you what my apple is. Plenty of blossom on here. And this is a malice apple. It's a self-fertile, it's saying.
Yeah.
Now this is its second year. But here's the spurs, here's the blossom. Blossom equals flowers.
And the espalier's going across.
Espalier's going across. And as they grow along, I'll get them extended.
Yeah, you train them, trim them to run along, don't you, down the sides. I think it's a cracking idea, that.
So this is my raspberry bed. These are called Autumn Treasure. We'll get no fruit till September or October. But when they finished flowering last November, they got cut down to the ground to absolutely nothing. Just completely cleared them down to the ground.
No stems coming up at all?
Nothing.
No?
I just took them right down, just seeing to bare wood.
Right, yeah.
They were pruned out, and because they were took down to nothing, yeah, because it's a late fruiter, here is all the young growth coming now, which is going to be this year's fruit.
Right.
So later on, because of the canes, I just run lines all the way around just to keep them in. So that's raspberries.
There's your raspberries.
So bed 6.
There's another spudder.
There's another potato. This is my Wisdon. This is just coming through.
Is Wisdon a second early? Is it a main?
Yeah. So the Wisdon are in. They'll be ready probably another 16 weeks.
They're just showing the faces now, aren't they?
Yeah, showing the faces. Bed 7 is the onions. Yeah.
Yep.
8 is the collie.
Yep.
Pear tree at the back.
The conference bird, or the...
That's a conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the sprouts that I've put in this morning. Little cherry tree at the back there. That got pruned hard last year. So the benefit now is all the low down stuff, because I didn't want a tree in the sky.
Well, you want it for you, not the birds.
That's right.
That's it, essentially.
So that's my cherry tree. Garlic has been in over winter, and this will have the cabbage in.
There's your cat. Yeah.
And then this plan then, because I've stuck to it, I'll keep this, and then next spring, when I plant again, because I know what I've planted were, then I can rotate.
You can rotate. That's the idea, and it's belted.
And it works. That's Joe's. That's me.
Well, thank you very much for another plot tour and a cracker again.
But now you've caught us early, we should see it progress now.
Yeah, perhaps do one a month or something,
Yeah,
and show it
easy
as it goes through the season.
Easy. Right, so
But it's a lovely setup, and as you can see, we're trying it the same way, running the beds, the full length, narrow paths, so you can get the maximum growing area.
look, the maximum growth, and it's easy to look after. Because again, you get your hole, yeah. See, these are potatoes coming through from last year.
Yeah, these are ones that were missed.
So as I've been going along, there's a few misses from last year.
Yeah, you've managed to catch a few there, look, haven't you? That have come out.
So now it's water those, water the collie, put the nets on, coffee and a fag.
Good idea.
And that's another half hour done. So I was here at 7, so come 10 o'clock I'll have done 1, 2, 3 beds.
There you go. And I'll have done nothing apart from chat with Joe, but it's always productive anyway, isn't it?
Right.
Thank you very much, pal. Nice one. We'll catch you on another exciting episode in about a month's time.
So I'll be able to see this on
the tube.
on the tube tonight, will I?
If not tonight, it'll be tomorrow, maybe. But it'll definitely be going on. Thanks very much, Joe. Thank you, mate.
Not a problem. So everything that's gone in now just gets a damn good water. What does Monty Don always say when you plant something?
Give it a good drink.
Yeah. And as much as it looks dry on top, that's only a bit of the manure.
And that'll soak down and it'll seat itself nicely.
So it'll always look dry on top, but I know that underneath, as you say, you put your hand in, and it's lovely fertile soil.
It's a form of mulching anyway. It acts as a mulch, doesn't it, at the top?
Yeah. But if we don't, as you know and everybody else knows, if you don't net these, the wood pigeons would come along half an hour after we've gone and they'd decimate the whole bed. Absolutely decimate it.
And then the little white mates will be coming along as well at the moment. Started coming, haven't they, the cabbage whites?
And
very good.
As we all know, prevention is better than cure. Because cure sometimes, if we didn't cover these, the cure would be, we have none, and I've grown these from seed, but it would then mean I would have to fly up to Paul Green or whatever and buy
them in, yeah.
A second lot. So they're all going to get a good water, and then it's just put the hoops over, put the nets up.
Jobs are good. Fantastic. Right, I better go and get my grapes done, haven't I? Go and get the pruning done on my grapes. It's lucky I come over, you know, because them courgettes, I was going to plant them out, but I'm going to leave it another couple of weeks, I think, till the frost's all guaranteed.
The problem is you start getting some half decent warm weather, yeah, and things that can be, things that are relatively tender. Courgettes are one in the early stages, yeah, don't put them out too soon, because all they need is one bad cold snap, yeah.
I think I'll pot them on instead,
and just pot them on into bigger pots. Pot them on into bigger pots.
Will do. In fact, will do now, because I've got to go and pick up my mate about 10:30, so I'm going to get some work done, and I'll come over for the coffee with you in a minute. Nice one. Thank you very much, pal.
Okay, Tom.
See you later.
Bye.
So yeah, as Joe's just been doing, he's getting his nets on, and we're doing the same thing. There's one there just gone on, and you saw the other day that little farmer and the mini digger were doing that one, putting the hoops on, and we've just done the same there. They're just staved into the ground. I'm just looking there. I need to put a peg. Just got to make sure that there's nothing, there's no way for them to get in, the little bugs, so I need to get some tent pegs. I've got some tent pegs knocking about, and just peg it down at the sides there. I put canes down, sort of wrap the nets round and put canes down, and then jam it between the board and your plastic tube, and that seems to work. And again, a couple of pegs just to whip it out, just to save on pegs really and keep it flat. And already you can see it's working its magic, keeping that beetle out anyway. So yeah, that's what we want. We want to make sure there's not there are small gaps in these. I think I've spoke about it before. There are some small gaps in there, but they're not big enough really for the cabbage whites to get in. I suppose a determined small cabbage white could fold his wings and get in there, but it's a deterrent. It keeps the vast majority of the cabbage whites and fly off your crops, your brassicas. Mainly for brassicas, that, because your cabbage whites eat your brassica plants, your cauliflower, your cabbage, and you know, all of that kind of thing. Cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, calabrese, Romanesco we're hoping to get in, Chinese cabbage, pak choi. They're all in the brassica family, and the cabbage white butterfly does like them, likes to eat them. What we've got in there, we've got red cabbage and we've got swede. Swede again's part of the brassica family. So yeah, it's just netting up, just to keep the bugs off. It doesn't have to be anything fancy really, but as long as it's doing its job and keeping the pests at bay, jobs are good. So we managed to get some more netting done today as well. It's Monday, Easter Monday today. Most people will be back into work tomorrow, but lucky me, I've got another day off. So we'll going to Gulliver's World tomorrow. Netted up some brassicas there, as you can see. Alrighty. And these are the pak choy and spinach, which I'm going to leave out and see what happens, and see if we can control the pest problems in a natural sort of a way, an unnetted way. Ideally, I don't want things to be netted up, but it's the only way that you can really save them. The slower growing stuff, like your broccoli and cauliflowers and cabbages and whatnot, it takes about 3 or 4 months from that stage to be ready. Whereas the spinach and the pak choy, from that stage, will only take about 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm hoping that we'll get enough of a crop to warrant not even netting up. You know what I mean? That's what the hope is. See if we can control things in a different sort of a way. So yeah, they're all out. So we'll see how we get on with that. Looking alright, isn't it? All netted. 3 nets on so far, and the 6 foot by 4 foot beds. And that's on number 36. Number 37 next door is looking beautiful. So yeah, we're getting as much out as we can. The courgettes, giant pumpkin, all of that kind of stuff. The Jack Be Little and pumpkin squash. The spaghetti squash, rather, that we've got. They'll be going out in the next couple of weeks. Just making sure we're past that last frost date, really. I mean, it's been gorgeous this weekend, but you never know, do you? We've been tricked before, haven't we, boys and girls, into thinking everything's sweet when it's not. Summer's here when it's not. Alrighty. So we hope that you had as good a bank holiday weekend as we did. It's been fantastic. Good to have Darryl and the 2 boys up from London. It's not London actually, it's Windsor where they live. They used to live in Barbican, but now they live in Windsor. Or Eton, Windsor way, that you know, down that way. Down south. Yeah, good to see the lads, Johnny and Franco. They had a good play. And that's me signing out. Have a good week if you're working. If you're not working, have a good week. Keep growing with your head down. See you later. Ta-da.